Good morning, students. Today we will study about the last part of our current chapter, that is chapter number 7, in which we will study today subphylum Vertebrata and its classes. Before this class, in the last section, you have already seen how the chordates the phylum chordates further classified into the two different subphylum. What are these two different subphylums? These two different subphylums are number 1 Vertebrata and number 2 Protochordata. In the last section, we have already seen the different characteristic features of chordates, vertebrates and the Protochordata. Now today we will study about the different classes of the vertebrata. Here just an introduction has given for the vertebrata. Subphylum Vertebrata includes chordates with vertebral column. There are nearly 49,000 species of vertebrates known today. Of these, 9,000 species are extinct. That means there is no more living species are present and known by their fossils. In the members of subphylum Vertebrata, the notochord is present during the embryonic stage and it will be replaced by vertebral column. That's why it distributed into it has classified or grouped into the two Protochordata. In the Protochordata, such type of replacement not seen, and that's why here a statement is here: all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Again, the subphylum Vertebrata further classified into the 5 different classes. What are these 5 classes? Pisces, that means fish and the amphibia. The familiar representative of this are, you will know, toad and frog, and the reptilia, and the apes, all the birds and mammals. Today, one by one, we study about the different characteristic features of all these 5 classes. Here a few characteristic features of Pisces, that is the class which includes the fish. All are aquatic, maybe freshwater and marine also. The class Pisces, the word derived from the Latin, that means the fish. The class Pisces includes the aquatic organism with a streamlined body for the swimming purpose, paired fins for movement in water and gills for respiration. Here the process of respiration takes place through gills and oxygen obtained from the water. All fishes live in water, fresh or marine. Body is spindle shaped and streamlined. Locomotion occurs by paired and unpaired fins. The entire skin is covered by scales or bony plates. Endoskeleton comprises entirely of cartilages or both cartilages and bones. Depending upon this fact, that means the body which made up by the cartilage and the body which made up by the bone. Depending upon this, the Pisces again further classified into the 2 groups, that is the chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. The chondro means chondro. When we are talking about the chondro, that means that is the cartilage. Chondro means cartilage. And Ichthys, it means fish. That means the cartilaginous fish type. And you have also seen in the tissue that chondrocytes, the cell of cartilage, and here you may have also seen the osteocytes. Similarly here, depending upon that fact, the Pisces classified into two categories, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Osteo means bone. Understand? So here there are two categories. They are cold-blooded. That means their body temperature varies according to the external environment. Such type of organism is known as cold-blooded, with only the two-chambered heart. In all the five these classes of vertebrata, you may see an evolutionary trend in the, if you will trace the structure of the heart of all five, then may you get an evolutionary trend. Like in case of the Pisces, in case of the fish, there are two-chambered heart. In case of the reptilian, there are three-chambered heart. And in case of the amphibia, there are three-chambered heart. In case of the reptilia, there are 3.5. And in case of the apes, birds and mammals, complete four-chambered heart, where there is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. One more important thing here in case of the fish is that there is no oxygenated blood passed through the heart, and that is why the Pisces heart are known as the venous heart. Understand? The Pisces heart is known as the venous heart. Venous heart. The Pisces heart is known as the venous heart. Now, sexes respiration through gills and obtain oxygen from water. Sexes are separate and fertilization is external. That means fertilization takes place outside the female body. That is the external. And when the fertilization occurs within the female parent, that is known as the internal, like in case of the mammal. They lay eggs. Here example, I have put examples here, that is the depending upon this chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. These are the examples for cartilaginous fish, and these are the examples of the bony fish. Understand? So now this is the characteristic features of Pisces. Now look, now let us see about the characteristic features of the amphibia. The amphibians are such a class of animals which includes animals, organisms which may live in both water and land. That is why they are known as amphibia. Amphi, it means double or dual. Bios means life. The class amphibia includes the animals with dual mode of life. These are the first animal to transit from aquatic to terrestrial. ये ऐसा है कि इस एनिमल के जगत में ये ऐसा देखा गया कि ये फर्स्ट एनिमल है जो माने पानी से टेरेस्टेरियल हैबिटेट की ओर बढ़ रहा था, और यही कारण है, लेकिन कंप्लीट इसने अपने को टेरेस्टेरियल एडेप्टेशन नहीं कर पाया, टेरेस्टेरियल यानी लैंड पर रहने के लिए अडेप्ट नहीं कर पाया। इस कारण से इसका मोड ऑफ लाइफ जो है डबल या ड्यूल कहलाता है। Some important characteristic features: skin is moist, smooth and contains mucous gland. It lacks scales. 2 pairs of limbs are present for walking and swimming. Heart is 3-chambered and respiration takes place through skin, through lungs and also through the gills. According to the requirement, like when we are talking about the tadpole larvae, at that time it lives in the water. Their development takes place within the water, and that time they may respire through the gills. when they become adult, and then they may respire through the lungs. And during the hibernation, when they are also cold-blooded animal, that is why they do not tolerate the ever-changing temperature of the environment. That's why in the winter, during the winter sleep, that is known as the hibernation, they may respire through the skin. Understand? And here they lay eggs in water. Fertilization is external, and the larvae, tadpoles, undergo metamorphosis and change into adult. Here are some examples. Now after this we have the third class of the vertebrata, that is the Reptilia. The third important class of vertebrata is the Reptilia. Before this we have seen the aquatic, 100% aquatic, fully aquatic, like the Pisces, जल, पानी में रहने वाले. उसके बाद हम लोगों ने देखा जल थली, यानी थोड़ा जल में भी अपने लाइफ का कुछ स्टेज, और फिर थल में भी रहने के. और उसके बाद जल और जल थल के बाद अब जो हम लोग थर्ड जो क्लास है, दैट इज द रेप्टिलिया. अबाउट देम इट इज नोन दैट दे आर द फर्स्ट such type of group of animals that are fully adapted to terrestrial habitats. Understand? So here it is derived from the Latin repair, to creep or crawl, रेंगने वाले. Or the class Reptilia includes the organism with creeping mode of locomotion. This is the first class of vertebrates fully adapted for life on land. Important characteristic includes here the reptiles are cold-blooded animals and predominantly terrestrial. Skin is dry and are covered with scales. The next point, most of them possess 3-chambered heart except crocodiles, whose heart is 4-chambered. Respiration takes place through lungs. Fertilization is internal. They lay eggs covered with hard shell. Here are a few examples: turtle, chameleon, crocodiles, horse-wall lizard, which is known as hemidactylus and tortoise. These are the some important representative of the class Reptilia. Now the fourth one is the apes. It is the fourth class of the subphylum Vertebrata, under which all the birds fall. इसमें सारे परिंदे birds आते हैं. The class apes includes birds with an outer covering of feathers. ये इसका important features है. Their body structure is adapted for flight and they are called masters of the air. हवा में इनका राज चलता है. A few, however, are flightless birds such as ostrich, kiwi, emu. These are the some examples which can not fly. The important characteristic features are here. They are warm-blooded animals. That means their body temperature remain constant, and due to the ever changing environmental condition, they are tolerable. Body is boat shaped or spindle shaped. Skin is covered with feathers. The 4 limbs, this is the important features of the for the flight purpose. The 4 limbs are modified into wings, and the hind limbs are adapted for perching, walking or swimming. They breathe through lungs. Their sexes are separate, that means male and female, and fertilization is internal. They lay large yolk laden eggs covered by hard calcareous shell. ये जो अंडे इसका होता है उसमें जर्दी उसको कहते हैं, येलो कलर का. तो ये जो है आपका बहुत ही एंटी ऑक्सीडेंट and also full of vitamins like A, D, E, K and the fat are present in the yolk. तो बड़े साइज के अंडे जिसमें यॉल्क रहते हैं, मतलब जर्दियाँ रहती हैं, इस तरह के अंडे होते हैं. और वो अंडा जो है कैल्केरियस यानी कैल्शियम कार्बोनेट से उसका शेल बना रहता है. सारे बर्ड्स इसके एग्जांपल्स हैं, जिसमें स्पैरो है, जिसे पैसर, ये जो है जेनेरिक नेम यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है, जीनस. पिजन है, कोलंबा क्रो है, कॉर्वस, इंडियन पैरोट है, और सारे बर्ड्स इसके एग्जांपल्स हैं. नाउ it is the fourth which we have finished, the class of vertebrata, and the last one is the mammals, under which we are also included. The fifth number class is here, Mammalia. Mamma means breast. The breast feeders included under this category. The animals of class Mammalia have milk producing mammary glands for the nourishment of young ones. The important characteristic features are like, number one, mammals are warm blooded with 4-chambered heart. Fully there is a separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. The skin is covered with hair and contains sweat and oil glands. They are tetrapoda and intelligent vertebrates, mostly terrestrial, while a few are aquatic also, like whale, like dolphin. Respiration through lungs. Sexes are separate with internal fertilization, except a few like spiny anteater, Echidna, and duck-billed Platypus. Mammals give birth to young ones and are viviparous. And one more character may you add, and that is very important, that is the parental care is well marked, and the young ones feed by the milk produced, milk secreted by the mammary glands. And the examples are dog, cat, rat, human, and so many examples. Bat also is the example. So here this characteristic feature, with these characteristic features we have already completed the different classes of vertebrates. But here some important things, like you have seen here viviparous, and those who lay eggs, they what they call, and there are some important features you have also seen during the process of the fusion of the gametes, that is the fertilization. The fertilization may be in cases of the amphibia, in Pisces to the Mammalia, you have seen there are some organism which are external, show the external, exhibit the external fertilization, and there are some which are exhibit the internal fertilization. And depending upon all these facts, we have also came to the conclusion that just we have started like that of the without any differentiation, without any appendages, without any well marked organ or the parts of the body like porphyrian. And we have seen now mammals where there is a well marked organ system present, and a well differentiated body organization with fully evolved. Now one important thing is here also, when we are studying about the different features, characteristic features, at that time one important fact is here regarding the habitats. Depending upon the habitats, their body has modified. What are these? This is actually known as the adaptation. The organism, if well adapted in their environment or in their habitats, then they will survive then they will successfully survive, and if they do not, they will not survive. Here the most important thing is here, depending upon the three, when the body adjusted themselves, there are three important features, that is the morphology, external features of the body, and the anatomy, that is the internal structure of the body, and the physiology, that is the important functions performed by the body, internal organ and the system which are present. What are the important functions performing by those organs, by those system of the body? So here, when a well defined organism or any species or any organism we are talking, if they are adapted in their habitats, that means their body will show these three different parts, like the number one, morphology. There are changes in the morphological features of the body that is well adapted to the particular habitats. Similarly, there is the anatomy of the body in respect to that habitat, and also the physiology in respect to that particular habitats where they live. In such circumstances, we have seen that depending upon the habitats, the body will modified, and that will show the morphological, anatomical and physiological performances of the organisms. After this, we have also seen that in case of the animals, when we are talking about the amphibians, at that time, what we have seen? We have seen that it is a such type of organism, the group of organism, the class of animals which show the two different habitats, that is the water and land also. Similarly, you have also seen in case of the plant, that is the bryophyta. Now, you, after studying of all these different phyla and the special features of those phyla, now you would like to study with the comparative viewpoint, like what are the differences between the apes and the mammals, how the mammals and the how the apes and the reptilian differ to each other, what are the similarities between them. Each and every these things may you study and try to make notes upon them. तो आपने अब तक देखा कि किस तरह से, मैंने इससे पहले भी बताया आपको कि हैबिटेट के अनुसार किस तरह से ऑर्गेनिज्म के बॉडी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, जिसमें मॉर्फोलॉजी भी शामिल है, एनाटॉमी भी शामिल है और फिजियोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटीज़ भी शामिल है, ऑल आर मे बी मॉडिफाइड फॉर टू सर्वाइव इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव हैबिटेट। ये सारी चीज़ों के बाद यहाँ पे कुछ हमने डिफिनेशंस आपको यहाँ पे लिख दिया। फर्टिलाइजेशन, द फ्यूजन ऑफ मेल एंड फीमेल गैमेट्स इज नोन एज फर्टिलाइजेशन। Fertilization is of two types, internal fertilization and external fertilization. Here are the definitions. That is the internal, it occurs inside the body of the parent, female parent, and outside the body of the female parent, that is the external fertilization. The examples are also here, and here the two definitions also, the oviparous and the viviparous. Producing eggs that hatch outside the body of mother, and the organism that gives birth to living young one that developed in the body of mother and nourished by her own blood stream. So these are the some important definitions of some important terminologies which are related with the so far what we have discussed in the classes of the vertebrata. Now this topic, this chapter number 7 is now completed.